Okay, just waiting for both streams to kick in. There we are, live on both the YouTubes and the Twitches. Put my links in the chat, and then we'll get going here with tech support with Coach Steve Money. Okay, one more link. Alrighty, to introduce myself, I am Steve Simpson, also known as Coach Steve Money, and if you've got money problems or just want to make sure you are on the right track, you can schedule a free financial assessment / consultation with me at calendly.com/Coach Steve Money. I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. You can ask me questions about anything, about the financial coaching, about the scheduling, about anything on my YouTube channel. And that can go to CoachSteveMoney@gmail.com. Donations can go to PayPal.me/Coach Steve Money. All right, let's make sure we are going here. I believe so. This is tech support with Coach Steve Money number 27. And here we go. All right, let's go. Tech support, tech support. Maybe occasionally a witty retort. Tech support, tech support. We're now putting covers on our TPS. I'll go ahead and send you that memo again. All right. Okay, I don't think I said, I don't need these anymore. I don't think I said TPS reports, did I? Don't think I did. Okay, we can get rid of that. We can get rid of the tech support banner right there. All right, so we go to reddit.com/r/tech support. And we sort by news, so we get the hot, not the hot, so we get the new ones over here at the on the tech support. In addition to being a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach, I've also been a PC tech for the past 25 years or more. No, I can't remember exactly when I started. I don't know that exact date, but it was over 25 years ago. All right, so let's see, DSL modems. Beep, beep, boo, doo. Let's see. Moved in a new apartment and they say I need to have a VDSL modem. Looking on the internet, the only ones I'm able to find are refurbished. I like to buy the modem since I have a very nice router. Went to Best Buy, they said they have none. I assume DSL is out of date. What's the max speed it can transfer anyways? Main question, are there any VDSL modems? Only options available? If not, are there any VDSL modem router combos available? I think there are. I think that's what DSL is. Yeah, so I mean you can get them. Oh, that's a DOCSIS. So this is not one. Let's see. DSL modem. That's an and for one. Oh, let's see what Amazon has. Yeah, so they have them. They're just older. They are older technology, I think, and not as fast. Those are what if the internet comes in on a phone line. So that would be like for AT&T or any other phone people. Let's see, CenturyLink, DSL. So let's see what we have here, back here. Yeah, so as you can see, it has a, you see the green plug? See, that is a telephone line, DSL1, DSL, DSL. So that's your telephone line in. And see, you see it doesn't have a cable jack, so this is not a cable modem. So how much is this? $200. So they probably aren't making them as much anymore, is what I'm guessing, since you couldn't find them anywhere. But yeah, they still do have these, but it is a lot slower than cable. And of course, not as fast, which is also not as fast as the fiber optic, which some lucky people can get. I don't have that in my area yet. It wasn't my idea to get our own phone line. I don't have my own phone line. It's from a movie called 16 Candles, which my son did not like as much as I liked. He didn't think it was a good movie at all. Alright, NZXT case fans dying after 2 years. Okay, NZXT is a case manufacturer. So I booted my PC today, leave it on long term to find my NZXT case fans. The ones I mounted on the top that came with the H700i case are now dying. One's fan's still going, one's dead, and one is making a grinding noise on boot up. I found it. It's been 2 years. I'm NZXT known for this crap quality case fans. It could be. I think they make fans separately, for sale separately, and so they probably use some of those same. But let's see what the person said. If they have a warranty, then try that route. If they don't have a warranty, just buy new fans. They are relatively cheap, and if you replace the default case fans, you can spend as much money as you want on case fans that are quiet. And there's a Be Quiet brand as well. Oh, and I forgot to put up there we go, the chat, just in case anybody says hey or asks a question. Have had questions before on this stream. All right, O Marcus 2Co said, can anyone tell me what's going on? Any possible solutions? So my PC turns on for a second, cuts off, but usually when it comes back on, it's fine. This time it's accompanied by beep and shuts off off and goes through a boot loop. Any idea? One beep is BIOS, let's see, it might be BIOS thing, connect to another set of keyboard mouse monitor. Some motherboards will not post. And do that single beep thing if no keyboard is detected. BIOS single beep. And is that correct? One short beep usually signifies that everything's okay. One long beep followed by 2 short beeps is a memory issue. One BIOS beep. Boom. One short CPU register test failure. The CPU has failed. Okay, so that's processor, and of course that could be the processor itself, or it could be the motherboard. So yeah. CPU fail code could be bad CPU or motherboard. Whoops, motherboard or both. All right. Blue screen, WHEA, incorrect error on startup. That a lot of times that's going to be your video card driver or the video card itself. Blue screen on startup. I left my PC on for about a month at blue screen. Okay, don't leave your computer on for a month. Even if you let it go to sleep. You have, basically, if you just let it go to sleep all the time, you have so much stuff loaded in the background. And so because when you wake it up, all that stuff that's sitting there dormant, it loads itself right back in up to the into the memory, and so that will slow you down. But yeah, if you're not going to be at the computer, turn it off. Use it a few more days. So blue screen gave me the error, that error. Used it for a few more days. That means he rebooted it and it came back on. Would have occasional blue screens after use my PC for a few hours. Could be from heat. Next, I went on a trip and didn't touch my PC for 3 weeks. Hopefully, and see there, why wouldn't you shut that off? Why would you leave it on? It worked just fine for about a month before I started blue screen again. Same error code. It would only happen at the end of the day, late at night after having it open. I think he means on for a while. But now when I restarted, it wouldn't connect to the monitor or mouse. PC would light up and fans would move, but nothing else. I left it alone for a while and it came back fine. It worked fine. The process repeated for a while. Now it's blue screening within 30 minutes and instantly blue screens after I try restarting. In between blue screening and restart my PC multiple times just for the monitor connect. Monitor cord has no issues. I've tested it. Things I've tried: reinstall Windows reinstall, driver updates, dust clean the RAM. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say do video update video driver if you haven't. If it's on the newest one, install a slightly older one. Beyond that, it could be the video card itself. Try your card in a different computer and a different card in your computer. But yeah, it's mostly going to be a video card driver error, and it could be because the card is bad or just the driver has some kind of problem, corrupted or something. All right, this from a noob that is communist. Well, that's not very good, is it? PC Windows 10 won't start up. PC won't start up for some reason. It keeps, excuse me, it keeps showing this text about it not being able to start correctly. Cancel the text. Automatic repair. Your PC did not start correctly. Plus restart to restart your PC, which can sometimes fix the problem. You can also press advanced options to try other options to repair your PC. And so that would be 3 to 5 year old CPU. I think HDD and no. So yeah, probably going to be a bad hard drive. Because it can't, generally you can't fix bad software on a bad hard drive. So if the hard drive corrupted the Windows installation, you can't fix it really. But one of the things in advanced options, you can go to the command prompt and you can try to do a system restore to a day when it was working correctly, and that could work. But again, if you have bad hardware, then that's not going to work. How you can determine if it's bad hardware is you can back up your important data. You probably have to take the drive out, connect it to a working computer to copy that data off. But then when you don't need any of the data that's on there, then you can either do a factory reset for your brand of computer, and that completely wipes everything out and puts it exactly back to the day you first got it. Or you can download Windows 10 installation. You can download that you can create that. You can download Microsoft's media creation tool and create a flash drive boot USB drive using the media creation tool. And then you put it in this computer and you boot to that USB drive. and then you do a fresh installation of Windows. So you do the factory restore or the fresh installation of Windows using the flash drive. And that gives you a new Windows install, which means the problem is not the Windows install. If it fails during that, then you got a definite problem. And if it's a hard disk drive in it instead of a solid state drive, it's definitely gonna almost always gonna be the hard disk drive. How to run a separate Windows 10 installation off a portable drive. You just boot to it. Not recommended. From official Taylor Swift. How about that? Boom, Taylor. I try to be nice, but if you're mean to me or break my heart, I'm gonna write a song about you. And make $1 billion off of you. Okay. What's the difference between an external drive and a portable drive? Nothing. Is it possible to install Windows and boot from a 1 terabyte portable hard disk drive? You can. Again, not recommended. Can this installation be separated from the one on my internal drive? Yes, but it's not going to know anything about your current things that are on your internal drive. It's not going to know the programs that are on there. So it depends on what this person wants to do with it. T-Swizzle. Depends on why you want to do this. Well, let's find out. Maybe he or she will write back. Can do it, not necessarily recommended, though. Also, the Windows install on the external will not know anything about the programs installed on the internal drive. Why do you want to do this? People like to do different things with computers that don't necessarily make sense, but they have their own reasons. So curious. Army of Memes says constant updates are killing my laptop. Is that like my loneliness is killing me and I? Constant updates are killing my laptop. I've had my laptop since 2015. That would be 7 years ago. And it's worked perfectly fine for years. Of course, it always does until it breaks. I don't use it for anything too intense, just Steam. Steam games can be intense, and Microsoft Office. However, Windows has been getting totes aggressive with the updates lately. And it's been crowding out all the space on the disk. Yeah, if you don't have space on the disk, you have problems. Briefly held the updates at bay by disabling them, but that protection only lasted a month. Now it's demanding I install more updates with no option to say no. I ran out of free disk space error and had to delete several files and games to free up a measly gigabyte so I could open anything without crashing it. And where my computer will not survive. I do not want more updates. I just want my laptop to work. Is there any way I can disable updates? Disable on online Windows machines like clicking the handrail on public bus. Microsoft doesn't let you do it for a varying reason. You could get infected if it's left unpatched. True. So, yeah, generally you gotta have, I think it's something like 15% empty space for it to work optimally. Otherwise, you're gonna get slowdowns with it. And also, if this person has had it since 2015 and has not cleaned up the startup, I have a video on this. Let's see if I can find it. Let's go to Computer. Let's go to computer playlist and let's see where it is. Some highlights of this actual show. There we go. So it's a file checker. Build. Speed up your computer. Disable startup.
Task
okay,
manager.
and
yeah,
but I'll just show you now. And yeah, you see I'm further over now than I was right there. You see how my logo right there is on my face. So that's better now. I've worked that out. But I will show you instead. I have the I'm using display capture today. It displays it captures the whole whatever's on the monitor, not just the window, which I normally do for games and for capturing browsers. What am I looking for? Oh, task manager. So you go to task manager, all right, and it will, if you have not accessed it before, it'll look like that when it first pops up for task manager. So you click more details. You go over here to start, and there you can check what's going on with your computer. See, mine's not bad. Half the memory is being taken up by Chrome and also by Streamlabs, which I use to stream to both YouTube and the Twitch. But as far as CPU and video card, that's not that bad at all. So you can see if it's any trouble, and then you can sort by those items and see what's taking the most of the memory, etc., etc. For the GPU, see OBS 64.exe is taking so they can like tell you. So if those numbers are too high, then you can, by sorting it, you can tell what's using most of your resources. Okay, so you go into startup, and now a lot of times when you install a program, and sometimes even a game like Steam, a gaming platform like Steam, it will automatically add itself to Windows Startup so that it starts every single time you turn on the dad's blame computer. And you don't need it to happen that way because you don't use the program every single time. Now, by disabling these, you can still use any of these programs. You just have to click on the link or bring it up through the menu or something like that. And they will start just fine. It's just they're not preloaded in the background, slowing you down if you're not using them. Good example I like to use is iTunes. Now you have iTunes to connect with your iPhone. But if you don't use iTunes every single time you turn on the computer, then that's wasted resources. So you just click on these. I left Cortana enabled, and what else? Edge I left enabled, and the Windows security notification icon for Windows Defender. But everything else I have turned off. So you just click on something to disable it and disable it. So you want to do that with all this stuff, and then close that out and reboot. And when you reboot, it won't load that junk in there, and so it would be faster. So that could be an issue for this person as well. But the main issue is because he didn't have any more space, out of free disk space error. And so he freed up a gigabyte so he could open without crashing something. But again, it's best, I think, if you have like 10 to 15% or something like that. All right, you shut down your computer because of a problem. Oh, it's a Mac. I don't know if I can do anything about this. Let's see. How do I fix the you shut down your computer because of a problem? Notification every time I start my Mac. Tried a bunch of things, but none that really helps. Recently tried reinstalling the latest version of OS. Didn't work. Would be thankful for some help. Well, that would almost always indicate that you have a hardware problem. And if you have a hard disk drive instead of the newer solid state drive, that is the most likely item in any computer build to be the problem. Nobody wrote nothing, so I'm kind of curious though, because we don't work on Macs much, so I don't know what it is. MacReports.com. Let's see what they got. You shut down your computer because of a problem. Open Finder. Use Command Spacebar to open Spotlight and type Finder. So you're doing library. Hit return logs. Diagnostic reports. Look for recent file named Sleep Wake Failure. Right click. Move to trash. Shut down your within 30 seconds. Then press the power button to turn on your Mac. The message should not appear anymore when you log in. If the above steps did not fix the problem. Okay, this sounds like it may be if it was just a glitch. But probably even if you delete this file, it will be recreated and you will still get that. If you have a hardware problem, you will still not be able to boot and you'll still get that message that will recreate itself. All right. Oh, let's see what else we got. Oh, that's from Killing Horse 295. How to record my capture device. What? The capture device is what does the recording. Okay, let's see what's going on. I'm beginning in Twitch, and I bought a video capture device so I can record my Nintendo Switch. So I need to know, is there any way to record my video capture device without an external program like OBS? No, you need a program to capture it. It doesn't. It could have come with one, depending on the brand. It could come with software, streaming software, but you need streaming software. Or not necessarily even streaming, but recording, which in OBS you can also do just a recording and record a video without doing that, without streaming it. So you can do that as well. But yeah, you have to have a program that will record it. And a video capture device, I don't know if like just a standard recorder will do that. I don't think Windows has one built in anymore. It used to have one. I don't think it does anymore. But I don't think a standard one does. I think it has to be a pretty good one. But it doesn't necessarily have to be a streaming software. But those definitely can do it and record for streaming and just record a full video that you can upload later or use for something else. Burn to a DVD or Blu-ray, that kind of thing. All right, this is from AirTAS 18. Audio and image corruption, how to determine. Is there any way to scan an SD card or hard drive to see if images or audio files are corrupt? Not that I'm aware of. You would just open up the images and see if they are correct. Play the audio and see if they are corrupt as well. I don't know that there's a where you can. I mean, you can test the integrity of the card or hard drive itself, but as far as checking each individual file like that, I don't think there's a program that does that. It may be, but I certainly haven't heard anyone for free anyway. All right, remote controls 2 televisions accidentally. On accident, as the kids say. It's by accident, by the way. All right, for reasons my grandfather has, for reasons, okay, not going to tell us what reasons they are. That's kind of vague there. Pizza Princess, what's up there? My grandfather has 2 televisions in his living room for reasons. Okay, he cannot for the life of him understand inputs, despite me teaching him and writing down detailed instructions. I didn't install the new television, and when I came back, the Vizio, which has disconnected, is now being controlled by the remote of the new LG with Apple TV installed. Furthermore, the LG is being turned on, being controlled by the remote of the dish, because he screwed around with it. It's odd, and really haven't found a deprogram a remote or remove a remote from either television. Any advice to remove the remote? Yeah, you set those on the computer. I mean, on the TV itself, you set that and set it to what remote to work with. And so maybe he did that. You know, I mean, if it's working for him, why not? But as far as old people and writing down detailed instructions, You have to be able to see the detailed instructions. So hopefully you wrote them bigger font size on that for Grandpa. I mean, if you wrote it small or something like that, I mean, that's why a lot of times, like old people, when you ask them something, or tell them something, like with a computer, you say, "Well, plug it in the USB port." You see the rectangular port on the front of the computer, and when you ask them a question like that, then they go, "What?" It's because they can't see it. So it's not because they're having trouble understanding you. It's because they can't see it, so they say, "What?" All right. This from Octave. 1 hour ago, cloned OS drive, but seemingly lost access to additional drives. Boop, 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 doo. All right, so this is a common problem. If you're going to clone a drive, when you do that, you disconnect everything else so you can't screw it up. You should only have the drive you're going to clone and the drive you're going to clone to. The one you're going to clone from and the one you're going to clone to. And that's all you have in the computer. All right? And so you run the clone software and clone the drive from one to the other. Now you have that. You shut down. Okay, then you disconnect the original drive, and that is so you can make sure the one you clone to works. And because I've seen when people have done this before, they have somehow, I don't know how, but sometimes apparently when you clone stuff, it will put the boot information on one drive and the operating system on the other drive. Okay, so you do not let it boot up for the first time with any other drives in it. Only the new cloned drive, the drive you've already cloned to. So clone main drive, OS drive from one solid state drive to another. Okay. Bought a PCIe expansion card. The drive in the M.2 was cloned to the new drive station in the expansion card, right? Once clone is complete, I powered down and swapped the drives, and you don't do that. You don't swap them. You just boot to the freshly cloned drive. As I'm on a boot from PCE, and I'd rather have my OS drive on the motherboard M.2. Right, that's fine. You don't connect the other one. The clone drive is working as intended. Great. I did have to merge some partitions, though. Shouldn't I have done that? Why? Why'd you do that? E and G drives are gone. If you merged partitions, that may have killed the E and G drive. Both contain game, software, and general storage. They are SATA drives. Oh, plugged in via SATA cables. Okay. That shouldn't have had a problem. Let's see, disk management showing it's so complete, and I'm fairly certain the BIOS isn't showing them either. Swap back to the original boot drive. And remove the one you just cloned to. Hopefully you'll still see all the drives and their contents. The possible mistake you made was not disconnecting everything in the computer, or every drive in the PC except for the newly cloned new SSD. You do that to make sure that the new clone boots and works fine and doesn't screw anything else up. Alright, maybe that person will write back again. We don't have anything yet. So you can get further information there. Alright, so let's see. Zane Dorito, Zane underscore Dorito. White screen wherever I try and, it's not try and, it's try to. Whenever I try to open Valorant. And as soon as I open the Riot client, I assume that's what you have to have to do Valorant. I haven't played Valorant. My taskbar just disappears, and if I alt tab, it's just a void of whiteness, white screen. I can't open any other apps except for Task Manager, and even if I close all the apps, it's just a white screen where I can't click it. It only happens when I open Valorant, and I haven't tested it on any other game yet. Test it on another game. Test it on other games. If the problem only happens with Valorant, then Valorant is your problem and not your computer. Check the Valorant tech support forum for anyone else posting the same issue you have. All right, yeah, but definitely if it's just one game, you need to test other games to make sure. And while I'm on the subject, don't download crap. What else do I tell people? If you buy a new computer and it's not working perfectly, then you need to go back and get a refund or exchange it for a different one. When you buy a new computer, it's supposed to work, just like if you buy a new car, it's supposed to work. So you don't have to open up the hood and start messing around with the engine to try to get it to work after you buy it. That's not how new cars and new computers work. It should work completely fine. So it's not, you don't have to do little fidgeting with a brand new computer. You want a working one. All right. Let's see. Is it okay to take off those green square things underneath an analog stick of a controller and put them back in? Oh, I don't know what he's talking about in a controller. Green. Oh, yeah, you can. Yeah, I mean that's what it looks like under. That's what is on the. There's a Xbox controller. That's what it is under these sticks, right there. That's what it uses to read the things. But as you can see, right underneath them, those are metal contacts, and those go into the circuit board on the inside. Let's see. Circuit board inside Xbox controller. Alright, and so you can see, let's go to images, and then we'll try to see where they go, or if it shows, let's see that one. Maybe that one. Yeah, that should. Trying to see where that would go. Somewhere in. Those could be on the other side of this one. Let's try a different one. Yeah, so as you can see, this is the underside of it. Let's see if we can find the... trying to look for the underside, the soldering. And yeah, right there, I think. So these are the solder points right there of the of those. But I mean, why would you take it apart if you don't? Let's see if it shows you the other side of them. Yeah, so there you go. So they're still on there. The caps are still on them right there. Cap's still on. Oh, yeah, and so it doesn't show, but those the green things that were on his picture are underneath these, and as I said, right there and right there they're on the other side of the board, or the other side of the controller, sticking out of holes that are right there, sticking out of these holes right here and sticking out, and so that is the back of it, is what we're looking at there. But yeah, so you can replace them. Let's see. I'm guessing they're not supposed to be removed because it's being held by something, but I accidentally removed mine while I was trying to clean it. I was having trouble snapping it back into place. They don't snap into place. They are soldered in, as far as I know. And anyway, I don't know if, let's see. Well, the image that he showed, that wasn't his. That was the one he found on the Google. As you can see, they have those on there. So maybe he broke those off of there or something in removing it somehow. Let's see what I'm guessing through either I put too much alcohol or I didn't wait for it to dry, so the alcohol made it this inside the square thing and messed it up. Okay. Snap it back into place very easily after the green square thing got removed. Maybe plan to do the same thing to the other green square. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what he did there. Yeah, you could have broken it easily. Attempting to recover a malfunctioning laptop hard drive. This from ASBLS. Following a power outage, this 5-plus-year-old workhorse of a laptop refused to boot up. I could hear the hard drive faintly beeping. They shouldn't be beeping. So after a lot of nervous Googling, it doesn't matter if you're nervous about it. If the data's gone, it's gone. I managed to open it up and, as expected, found the head stuck over the platter. Oh, so he opened up the actual drive itself, which you should not do. Gently moved them back into position, made sure they could move correctly, and got everything reassembled. When I test drive now, it makes this noise very quiet. Yeah, that's broken. You can send it to a data recovery data recovery facility, and they can take the drive apart. And so it's a hard disk drive is what he's talking about, not the new solid state drive, which is just like a flat drive and has no moving parts. He's talking about where the heads are over the platter, where there's a spinning platter like that. And what they do in those data recovery places is they take the drive apart, they take the disks out of them and put them in a new hard drive casing, along with the reader and such, and then see if they can get any data off of it that way. So yeah, I wonder if they know. Yeah. Unless you have incredibly important stuff on, it's cheaper to just get a new hard drive rather than pay someone to fix that one. Right. Sound is a click of death. Indeed. Wi-Fi slows down when increasing monitor refresh rate. Interesting. That may be putting more pressure on the video card, and by the video card taking more power, that could be less power for the Wi-Fi receiver. I don't know. Don't know about that at all. Can't think of anything else that would be. SSD problems. So you don't even have. I mean, you're not out of the woods if you. I mean, SSD is a bunch faster and a bunch less likely to not fail over the HDD. But so let's see. Just wondering if I'm SOL. That means should I look. My SP855 500 gigabyte shows up in every conceivable way: BIOS, device manager, storage pools, etc., but not in disk management, not even as unallocated. I tried removal from storage pools, changed RAID, switched my cables around the current WDC solid state drive. That works in every port. And even reinstall Windows on ideas. Below all my attempts and error messages, you can clearly see the SSD highlighted in yellow. Well, let's take a look at that. But if he's messing around with RAID, if he has a RAID installed, it's possible that will not work anymore. Let's see what we are doing. So that is the solid state disk. So it's seeing it's there, but it doesn't list it here. Is disk 1 and CD-ROM 0, so it's not seeing it. So yeah, it's probably, I mean, it's possible that it is just bad. What we would do is try it in a different computer. Could try that and you see if it shows up there. Can also try putting it in a different computer. That's what she said. Okay. Why is my upload and download speed so far apart, and how do I raise my upload speed? Okay, so if you get 100 megabit per second, and now that's not megabyte per second, that's megabit per second, which is different. So if you have the 100 megabit per second, you might get 10 upload speed. I don't know why. I'm trying to stream, and suddenly this happened. What can I do to fix it? The download's not affected, so maybe you can call your check your contract, check your network for packet loss, just ping the router. Yep. Check your Wi-Fi extenders access points for wrong configuration. Get in contact with ISP. Yeah. That upload is not too good for streaming. You probably, for like 1080p, you probably want to have around 10 megabits per second, probably. It might work with 5. But yeah, see what your now, before you had the problem, you didn't probably check that to see what your normal upload speed is. So yeah, just do what the other guy recommended. Let's see, underwhelming _ slots. Suddenly, all of a sudden, cannot connect to router through Ethernet. Also, that one is it's all of a sudden, not all of the sudden. Hi guys, title suggests booted up my PC tonight and couldn't connect to my Wi-Fi through my Ethernet connection. That's not a thing. What are you talking about? Does that mean couldn't connect to your router through your Ethernet connection? Your router that has Wi-Fi and Ethernet possibilities on it? Is that what that means? When I troubleshoot the problem, it asks me to update my network adapter drivers, but can't quite do that without an internet connection. It's quite an old gaming PC that doesn't have wireless connection capabilities, so I'm wondering how I can fix this issue. Let's see if somebody told them probably to connect it directly to the modem to see if it works that way, and then the problem's the router. The way to fix the past, get a flash drive, download drivers. Yeah, you can do that. Okay. Alright, so yeah, so that would be if he just needs to reinstall the drivers, which may do it. Otherwise, you would eliminate the router as being the problem, or confirm that the computer is the problem by connecting it directly to the modem instead of the router, because then if you don't have the router in the loop, then there is no way that can be the problem. Is it 850? This is from Fry Copy. Vista, Windows 7 Game Explorer on Windows 10. Really not sure if this is treading too close to Rule 9, but here it goes. Have Windows 10 on my laptop. Rule 9 might be like don't post stuff on this, like trying to get Windows 7 parts of the operating system to work on newer Windows maybe. Windows 10 on laptop, reskinned it with a couple programs to make it look like exactly like Windows 7 with elements of Vista because they were so similar. Okay, to make it look exactly, that's making it look like it. That's just graphics. That's got nothing to do with the operating system itself. Anyways, I was wondering if there's a way to get the old Game Explorer on the PC. I have a file that supposedly is the Game Explorer, but it won't run. It's not part of that operating system. So no, I already have the games, but it just doesn't feel right without the launcher that used to be with it. No, that's not gonna work. Let's see, Alex Blackheart. Laptop can't find my Wi-Fi network. As the title says, my laptop is unable to find my network after getting a new one. A new what? Laptop or router? I tried turning it on and on, back off, tried updating drivers, restarted my modem router. I did check to make sure my Wi-Fi service is enabled. HP and is still running Windows 8. Hasn't been used in a bit. Windows 8 went into live 2016. Yep, driver's not coming. Yeah. That's right. Windows 10. Yep, can install Windows 10 on it. As far as working, it theoretically should be able to work. But it's possible that the Wi-Fi card inside the laptop is broken. And so you need to get a USB Wi-Fi receiver. USB Wi-Fi receiver would be the only way to do that on a laptop, because you can't install cards or anything on there. PC crashes after booting into Windows. This is from Liu Body Maca. CS. For the past month, I've had some issues with my computer. Thank you for not saying the computer was working fine until this happened. When playing some games, my PC would suddenly crash after dusting and resetting my computer. The problem seems to have been resolved. However, this issue came back 2 weeks ago. My PC always crashes after booting into Windows. The problem doesn't seem to be related to overheating or the PSU. You can try a different PSU anyway, because that's probably going to be the least expensive part to try. But it could be anything. Again, try the power supply first, probably. Other than that, after booting into Windows, so you don't necessarily need a heavy-duty video card in there. If it has a video card, you can take that out if you have onboard video and try the onboard video. And if that still doesn't work, then we're looking at maybe a bad hard drive again, if it's an older computer and doesn't have a solid state drive in it. Of course, it could be a bad solid state drive as well, but those are far less likely than the hard drive to be bad. All right, let's do one more. Cloudy spot formed on LCD. It just came back from trip today and it was the top right of my monitor. Now it's a cloudy, hazy spot. I thought it was just condensation, but I went to wipe it as nothing. It's like it's behind the front glass, but not exactly an artifact of the pixels themselves, although I could be wrong. It's making the text screen elements in its area a little hard to see. Excuse me, is even visible when the monitor's off. Any tips? I understand that there was some heavy raining while I was gone, in case that provides some help. If it was turned on or plugged in and you had a power surge or something, that could be it. Let's see, what does she look like? What is all that about? Is that the wallpaper on there? Yeah. Let's say PC on LCD. Oh, LCD. Oh, my monitor now has a cloudy, hazy spot. Oh. So is this a reflection? That's weird that it's a square like that. Or that one. So I'm assuming this is a... Yeah, this is a reflection on there. Yeah, I don't know. You should try a different monitor. Let's see if somebody said anything. Let's see, is that a laptop? Try a TV or a different monitor to make sure it's not a problem with the video card. Also try that monitor on a different computer. If the monitor looks the same on the other computer, then it's just a bad monitor and you live with it or replace the monitor. Not cost effective to have them fixed. Whoops. Fixed in almost all cases. Alrighty. Alright, let's see if we can do a bonus one with problems with RTX laptop GPU. That's in NVIDIA graphics processing unit video card, which is better than mine, but this one is built onto the motherboard of this laptop. So it disappeared from Device Manager. I want to try to update it from GeForce Experience, so download the latest from website. It says not compatible with system, right? It's got to be able to see that that's there. Is there a way to get the previous GPU back or get a new inside Radeon graphics? Also says not compatible with current, because that's not what's in there. You got to have the type of video card in there, and basically that's going to be to check the BIOS to make sure it's enabled. To make sure it sees the RTX chip on the motherboard. If it doesn't, likely broken. That RTX chip is not a video card. Card per se. It's just the chip soldered onto the motherboard, and that would require specialized equipment to remove and replace. You cannot do that stuff with a Radio Shack soldering iron. Probably doesn't know what Radio Shack is. That's an old thing. I think they've been gone a long time. Alright, so once more, I am Steve Simpson, also known as, what is that doing there? Oh, also known as Coach Steve Money. I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach, and if you've got money problems or just want to make sure you're on the right track, you are in luck, because you can schedule a free, yes, free, no strings attached, financial assessment / consultation with me at calendly.com/Coach Steve Money. Links at the top of the chat and in the video description below. You can email me about anything, yes, anything, CoachSteveMoney@gmail.com. Anything about the financial stuff, anything about computer repair, anything about computers in general, and donations, paypal.me/Coach Steve Money. Oh, you can also email me about anything on my YouTube channel at All Games. What do we have? Oak Island, the financial stuff, the Ramsey songs that I've written as well. I'd be more than happy to talk to you about any of that. Alrighty. Signing off. I'll make smart, technical, and smart financial decisions every day.